Tunakuomba Mwenyezi Mungu, hekima yako, busara yako ya kimungu ziwe tunu msingi za kuongoza majadiliano, hoja mbalimbali na maazimio yatakayoibuka katika kikao hiki, ili watu wanaoishi katika mataifa na umoja huu wa Afrika Mashariki yaweze kupata maendeleo yenye tija na ustawi endelevu na amani na mshikamano. Tunakuomba Mwenyezi Mungu, endelee kuwalinda viongozi wetu, wajalie ulinzi wako ili kikao hiki kianze kwa ushirikiano, maelewano na vile vile utulivu, na kimalizike katika hekima yako. Tunaomba haya yote kwa njia ya Bwana wetu Yesu Kristo mwanao, Bwana na mkombozi wetu.
Mungu wetu, katika jina la Yesu, neno lako linasema hivi katika Injili ya Yohana kwamba Yesu ulituombea umoja ili kupitia umoja huo uungu uonekane duniani. Wewe Mungu ni kila kitu katika maisha ya Afrika Mashariki. Wewe Mungu ni kila kitu kwa viongozi wetu wakuu. Wewe Mungu ni kila kitu katika uchumi wa Afrika Mashariki. Wewe Mungu ni kila kitu katika ulinzi na usalama katika Afrika Mashariki. Tunakushukuru kwa sababu ya upendo wako ambao tumeuona katika nyakati zote na katika nyakati mbalimbali. Tunaomba kwa sababu ya mkutano huu wa viongozi wetu wakuu, tunaomba matokeo yatakayotoka katika mkutano huu ulete manufaa kuanzia ngazi za juu mpaka vijijini, kwa sababu ya utukufu wa jina lako tunaomba na kushukuru. Amen.
His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi and Chairperson of the Summit of EAC Heads of State, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia and guest of the summit, Right Honorable Edward Ngirente, Prime Minister, Republic of Rwanda, representing His Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Right Honorable Jean-Pierre Bemba, Vice Prime Minister and Minister of Defense, representing His Excellency Felix Antoine Tshisekedi Chilombo, President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Honorable Ambassador Javier Abayeho, Minister of EAC Affairs, Republic of Burundi, and Chairperson of the EAC Council of Ministers, Honorable members of the Council of Ministers of the EAC and other ministers, Cabinet Secretaries from the EAC partner states, His Excellency Tete Antonio, Minister of External Relations, representing His Excellency Juan Manuel Conclave Lawrence, President of the Republic of Angola, Honorable Dr. Peter Mutuku Matuki, Secretary General of the EAC, Right Honorable Speaker of the East African Legislative Assembly, and honorable members of IALA present, Lordship Judge, President of the East African Court of Justice, and honorable judges present, former Secretary Generals of the EAC present, former speakers of the East African Legislative Assembly, honorable members of the Coordination Committee, and other permanent secretaries from the partner states, members of the Diplomatic Corps, representatives of our development partners, heads of EAC institutions, representatives from regional economic communities, the East African Business Council and other representatives from the business community and the private sector, Mr. John Mongela, Regional Commissioner for Arusha, distinguished guests, staff of EAC organs and institutions, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. My name is Annette Semwemba. I'm the Deputy Secretary General in charge of Customs, Trade, and Monetary Affairs at the EAC Secretariat, and I'll be your Director of Ceremonies this evening, together with my colleague, Dr. James Joey, Executive Deputy Secretary for the East African Kiswahili Commission. Excellencies, the theme of the 23rd Summit is Accelerating Economic Recovery through Climate Change, Adaptation, and Food Security for Improved Livelihoods. Excellencies, over the course of yesterday, we received wise counsel and guidance from your excellencies on how the East African Community region can continue to adapt to the effects from climate change and to improve security for improved livelihoods. The outcomes from this conversation yesterday have been recorded and will be presented as part of the discussions later. Excellencies, I wish to inform participants, delegates, that our heads of state have just completed the closed session, and we will now invite the Secretary General of the EAC to introduce the program of the session today. Honorable Secretary General, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Secretary General. Indeed, the program will be brief this afternoon. We'll be listening to the messages from their excellencies, the messages they would want to give to the citizens of East Africa, and that will be followed by a communique, which is an outcome of the decisions that have been made by their excellency heads of state during their closed sessions. So without further ado, Your Excellencies, and after consultation with the chair of the summit, I would want us to commence the statements from their excellencies, and we want to invite His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, to talk to the people of East Africa. Your Excellency, most welcome.
Your Excellency President Ndayishimiye, our chairperson, Your Excellency President Salva Kiir, the incoming chairperson, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, His Excellency William Ruto, President of Kenya, His Excellency the President of Somalia, who is a guest here, the Right Honorable Prime Minister of Rwanda, the Vice Prime Minister of Congo, and I don't think I have left anybody. Secretary General, all the big people. Watu wote mashuhuri, tunasema mashuhuri. Now we are talking inside there, and we are reminding ourselves about the need for integration. Why integration? 3 reasons. I normally watch the TVs. They are talking about football, European clubs, I don't know what. But those clubs will not put food on your table. So I think it is important for the East Africans, especially the young people, to know why do we talk of integration. 3 reasons. Number 1, do you want prosperity or not? If you say you don't want prosperity, then no problem. But if you say you want prosperity, the question is, where will the prosperity come from? According to what we have seen, prosperity cannot come from aid from foreigners, cannot come from handouts from government. It comes from a family or a company or an individual producing a good or a service and selling it. You produce a good or a service and somebody buys it. If more people buy from you, then you become prosperous. Therefore, you cannot talk of prosperity in Africa without talking of market integration. If you want to experiment that, you go to Latin America. Latin America is richer than the United States in terms of natural resources. If you look at the rivers, the biggest river in the world, Amazon, is in South America. The forests, agricultural land, minerals, they are all there in South America. But you see the misery there in South America. So what is the problem? Part of the problem is organization. In the US, if you are in New York, you produce a product, it can sell all the way to California. You have got a market of 300 million people, more than that. So therefore, the market becomes a stimulus for wealth creation and for prosperity. That's why, therefore, we say, please, if you want to be prosperous, you better understand and fight for the integration of the African market. A country like Uganda wasted a lot of time fighting and so on, but when we settled down, we started producing. And very soon we realized that the internal market was not enough for milk, for maize, for sugar, for what? So that is the first reason, prosperity. Second reason is strategic security. How can you be secure in the world? I don't have time to go into that, but that is the second reason. The third reason is undugu. By the way, these people you are talking about, the ones we are saying you unite for the sake of their prosperity and for the sake of strategic security. Are they similar or linked? If you study carefully, you will see that all these people are linked. The Bantus, the Nilotics. Then we here in East Africa, we are lucky we have the Swahili language. In the European Union, they have a problem. What language do they speak? Do they speak Francais? They speak German? They speak Spanola? What language do they speak? Italiano? But here we have no problem. We can all speak Swahili and there will be no controversy. So therefore, it is easy for us to unite. This is the reason why some of us, under the leadership of Marimu, for the last more than 60 years, have been struggling for the East African integration. I thank you, and I wish everybody good luck.
Thank you, our wise President Museveni, for your statements. Before to continue with the statements from Head of State, I would like to tell you to communicate about the outcome of the closed session, which took a time because the items was important. With regard to the application by the Federal Republic of Somalia, we have decided to admit the Federal Republic of Somalia, and the Treaty of Accession will be concluded with the chair of the summit whom we have designed. 2, Nairobi process directed that the CDFs of AC and SADC meet and submit their recommendation on the way forward to the defense ministers for onwards transmission to the summit for consideration. On sustainable financing, decided on 65% equal contribution, 35% assessed contribution formula. Political confederation consultation, taken note on the consultation held in Kenya, Uganda, and Burundi, and urged the Republic of Rwanda, South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and the United Republic of Tanzania to conclude the national consultation by 13 June 2024. For the change of bureau, the summit has decided that the Republic of Sudan will assume chairmanship of the community, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo will be the rapporteur. Thank you very much. And for that, I'd like to hand over the chairmanship to my brother Salva Kiir.
No, sorry. You continue sitting. I will move it. Okay.
The chair.
No.
Now I give the floor to the Secretary General for other items.
President of Somalia to join me here.
My chair. Thank you.
Congratulations, my brother.
So take a seat.
Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. With that, now I invite Our Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of United Republic of Tanzania, to make a remark. Your Excellency.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Mwenyekiti, Mheshimiwa Secretary General, Mheshimiwa Salva Kiir Mayardit, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Sudan ya Kusini na Mwenyekiti wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, Mheshimiwa Evariste Ndayishimiye, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Burundi na Mwenyekiti aliyemaliza muda wake, Mheshimiwa Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Uganda, Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Mheshimiwa Edward Girente, Waziri Mkuu wa Jamhuri ya Rwanda, Mheshimiwa Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Shirikisho la Somalia, Mheshimiwa John Pierre Bemba, Naibu Waziri Mkuu na Waziri wa Ulinzi wa Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo, Mheshimiwa Peter Mathuki, Katibu Mkuu wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, waheshimiwa mawaziri na wageni wote waalikwa. Nianze kwa kuwakaribisha wote hapa jijini Arusha, hususan kwenye hoteli hii ya kijani ya Ngurdoto. Mjisikie mpo nyumbani, nje ya nyumbani. Nawashukuru waheshimiwa marais wenzangu kwa kuridhia wito wa kuhudhuria mkutano huu wa 23 wa wakuu wa nchi na serikali wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Kwa upande wetu tumefurahi sana kuwapokea. Mheshimiwa Evariste Ndayishimiye, nakupongeza sana kwa kazi kubwa na nzito ulioifanya kwa umahiri mkubwa wakati wote wa kipindi chako cha uwenyekiti. Hakika ulitumia fursa zote za kuhakikisha tunakutana na kutupa mrejesho wa mara kwa mara wa yote yaliyokuwa yakiendelea. Umeiwakilisha vyema jumuiya yetu katika majukwaa mbalimbali ya kikanda na kimataifa. Umeweza kutusemea vyema sana kwenye masuala mengi, ikiwemo masuala ya amani na usalama. Pia wewe na nchi yako mmeweza kusimamia vyema shughuli za jumuiya yetu kwa umahiri mkubwa sana, tunawapongeza sana. Tumefurahi pia kwa Mheshimiwa Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Somalia, ameweza kujumuika nasi leo katika mkutano huu. Somalia ni mbia wetu muhimu na tutaendelea kushirikiana nao. Vile vile nimpongeze sana Katibu Mkuu wa Jumuiya na Secretariat yake kwa kufanikisha mkutano huu. Nilifurahishwa sana na mjadala mliouandaa jana kuhusu mabadiliko ya tabia nchi ambao umetuwezesha au utatuwezesha kwenda kwenye COP 28, COP 28 tukiwa na msimamo wa pamoja. Vile vile nipongeze timu za mawaziri na wataalamu wetu kwa kazi kubwa ya kuchambua taarifa hizi. Nisitize umuhimu wa watendaji wote kuhakikisha maelekezo yetu yanafanyiwa kazi kikamilifu, hususan kumaliza vikwazo vyote visivyo vya kiforodha ambavyo vinakwamisha na kufifisha juhudi za wananchi wetu. Ni lazima sote tujidhatiti kwa kuweka malengo na mifumo itakayokuza zaidi biashara baina yetu, kuinua kipato cha watu wetu na kukuza mtangamano ili kuleta maendeleo endelevu kwa nchi, watu na jumuiya kwa ujumla. Ikumbukwe kwamba kama jumuiya tuna mengi tunayofanana kuliko tunayotofautiana. Hivyo kamwe tusiruhusu tofauti ndogo ndogo kutia doa uhusiano na ushirikiano wetu uliolelewa na kuenziwa na waasisi wetu. Ni jukumu letu kuhakikisha tunaleta mtangamano huu hadi kufikia kwa ajili ya vizazi vyetu vijavyo au vya baadaye. Kipekee kabisa nipongeze Mheshimiwa Salva Kiir Mayardit, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Sudan Kusini, kwa ukabidhiwa wenyekiti wa jumuiya yetu na kuahidi ushirikiano wangu binafsi, serikali ya Tanzania na Watanzania kwa ujumla, na nikutakie kila la heri. Mwisho ila sio kwa umuhimu, Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo itafanya uchaguzi mkuu mwezi Disemba mwaka huu. Tunapongeza kwa maandalizi ya uchaguzi huo. Nitumie fursa hii kuwatakia kila la heri wakati wanaelekea kwenye uchaguzi mkuu. Tutumie pia fursa hii kudhihirisha kwa mara nyingine tena kwa jamhuri yetu, jumuiya yetu inazidi kuimarisha misingi yake ya kidemokrasia. Na washukuru sana, asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza. Asante mwenyekiti kwa nafasi.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your remarks. Now I invite His Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, to give his remarks. Your Excellency, most welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Chair of the Summit, past and present, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We are meeting in this summit in the context of a fairly difficult situation globally, occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic, the conflict in Europe, the conflicts in our region, and the difficult times occasioned by climate change, both drought and the current situation of El Nino that we have across our region. Even in that context that looks a bit gloomy, we must not lose sight of the great opportunity that exists in our region and the huge potential that the 7, now 8 countries of the East African community have as we face the future. Mr. Chairman, allow me to congratulate the Federal Republic of Somalia for joining the East African community. We now have an extra 15 million people, or thereabout, who will become members of this great family. As I congratulate Somalia, let me congratulate the other 7 members of this great organization. The East African community today is the most integrated, the most progressive economic community in our continent. It speaks volumes as to our resolve as East Africans to build a common market, to build on our strengths, and to focus on a common destiny as the people of this region, because by so doing, we will have the opportunity to unlock the tremendous potential and the myriad of opportunities that we have as a region. I am a very proud East African. And today, in our meeting, we've had a conversation about how we need to hasten the process of political integration in our region. When the committee of experts visited Kenya, they had a wonderful experience, and they are sitting here, they will tell you. Many people in Kenya told them that they were delaying with the integration of East Africa. It is my considered view that as we focus into the next 1 year, that we will conclude the consultations so that we can further our integration, because I am solidly sold to the idea that it is East Africa that is eventually going to unite the continent of Africa. We are already well ahead. Our integration, market integration, we are proudly now the intra-regional trade between our countries is at 27% compared to 17% elsewhere in our continent. We are far off from where Europe is at 70%. But the fact that we are making strides in the right direction means that shortly we will catch up with our peers globally. Let me also say this, that we are a region that is endowed with huge resources, renewable energy resources, whether you're talking about geothermal resources, hydro, wind, solar. We have huge resources all the way from Kenya through Rwanda to Burundi, all the way to DRC. And additionally, we have huge mineral resources. As we go to COP27, we are not going to COP27 as bystanders. We are going to COP27 as a region, having packaged our investment opportunities, investment in renewable energy, investment in Africa's green industrialization initiative, so that we can use the renewable resources we have, the huge resources we have around agriculture and uncultivated land, the resources we have in minerals, and of course, our human capital, the young people of our region, presenting them as opportunity for the world to invest, and so that we can unlock the potential in our region, create jobs, create prosperity, grow our economy, and eliminate poverty from our region. It is my position, ladies and gentlemen, that as we congratulate President Salva Kiir as he takes over as the chair of our region, that you have our support, you have the support of Kenya, and you have the support of East Africans as we consolidate our region into one integrated economic bloc with one destiny. Let me conclude by commending our sister, the President of Tanzania, for making it possible for us to host this summit here. Congratulations, my sister, and the great people of Tanzania for welcoming us and for the courtesies extended to us, and just to commit to you that the people of Kenya and government of Kenya is 100% behind the East African community, and to wish well our friends in the DRC as they go into the elections. You have our prayers, you have our support as you nurture your democracy, even as we agreed this morning on the subject of Eastern DRC and the security challenges there, that as East Africans, we will not walk away from the people of Eastern DRC. We are going to agree on a methodology with our brothers from SADC on how that whole situation is going to be handled in a manner that respects the wishes of the people of DRC and in a manner that makes sure that there is no vacuum and the situation in DRC is handled in the best way possible to the benefit of the people of DRC and to the benefit of the people of East African community, because they are our brothers and sisters and they deserve our solidarity. Thank you very much for giving me your ears. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for that very encouraging message to East Africans. Now, allow me to invite the Right Honorable Eduardo Girente, Prime Minister, representing His Excellency President Paul Kagame of the Republic of Rwanda, to make your remarks. Your Excellency, most welcome.
Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of Tanzania and our hosts, Your Excellency Salva Kiir, President of South Sudan and the new chair of our community, Your Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of Burundi and our outgoing chair, Your Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda, Your Excellency William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, the President of Somalia, Your Excellency Jean-Pierre Bemba, Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Defense of the Democratic Republic of Congo, distinguished delegates, a very good afternoon. I have the honor of joining you today, representing His Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, at this 23rd Ordinary Summit of East African Community Head of States. Let me begin by thanking our host, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, for the gracious hospitality and extended to us by the government of the government of Tanzania. I also wish to congratulate our outgoing chair of the summit, His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of Burundi, for his commitment and leadership. I would also like to congratulate the incoming chairperson, His Excellency President Salva Kiir, President of South Sudan. I want to take this opportunity to welcome the Federal Republic of Somalia into the community. The Republic of Rwanda is committed to supporting and continuing to work with the new chair during the next tenure of the East African Community chairmanship. Rwanda also appreciates the East African Community heads of states for their continued efforts in preserving peace, security, and stability in the region. Rwanda believes that East African Community partner states shall continue to collaborate in maintaining and safeguarding the best we have achieved across our region. In this regard, we note with appreciation the increasing cooperation among the EAC states. Regional integration projects and programs continue to grow despite a limited funding mechanism. However, finding a suitable and sustainable source of funding for East African community remains a priority. And this has been also discussed in our closed session. Rwanda is committed to partnering with other EAC member states to address this issue. Excellencies, I wish to emphasize once again, the urgency of accelerating efforts towards climate adaptation, mitigation, and environmental sustainability. Let me conclude my remarks by stressing the importance of embracing joint infrastructure projects across the region. I once again thank the United Republic of Tanzania for hosting us and the East African Community Secretariat for organizing this successful summit. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for those remarks coming from the President, Paul Kagame of the Republic of Rwanda. Your Excellency, now I invite Right Honorable Jean-Pierre Bemba, the Vice Prime Minister and Minister of Defense of DRC, representing His Excellency Felix Antoine Tshisekedi, to give his remarks. Your Excellency, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. His Excellency, I believe you don't have the translator for everybody, so I will try to speak in my bad English. And I hope you will understand me. On behalf of President Tshisekedi, we apologize not to be here. As you understand, we are in a campaign at the moment, presidential campaign. That he asked me to greet all of you and to apologize one more time. He wouldn't like to be here, but he couldn't. We believe in the East African community, of course, because this community can develop the whole east of Africa. Problem in DRC, we are having and we are facing a war in the east of the country, and the meeting here was to find a way to come out of this war, because we have more than 2.4 million people displaced, and we need to find a solution to allow them to go back to their village, to their territory. And I thank the United Republic of Tanzania to welcome us, Madam President, and to allow us to have this meeting here. I will not be so long. I thank everybody for all this effort done, and I hope that this African community, and DRC particularly, with the grace of God, will live in peace very soon. That's what we are all expecting. And I hope that with the all East African community member, the country will understand that we need peace, and the people of Congo need peace, and so we need to go to election. And one more time, thanks you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the message that you've given on behalf of the President of DRC. Your Excellencies, now I invite the outgoing chair of the East African Community, His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, and who is also the President of the Republic of Burundi, to give your remarks, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, our host. Your Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellency Salva Kiir, President of the Republic of South Sudan, and the beginner in chairmanship of our community. Your Excellency William Samuel Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya. Your Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, Honorable Ngirente, Prime Minister of the Republic of Rwanda, representing His Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Honorable Vice Prime Minister and the Minister in charge of Defense in DRC, representing His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi, President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Honorable Minister, Honorable Peter Matuki, Secretary General of AC, Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Angola, representing His Excellency Lorenzo, the President of the Republic of Angola and the Chairperson of the Luanda process, representatives of regional economic communities, members of diplomatic corps, ladies and gentlemen, or protocol observed. Before I get started, I'd like to thank God for His love and mercy in bringing each and everyone softly here in Arusha, United States of Tanzania, United Republic of Tanzania, to attend this 23rd Summit of AC Heads of State. Allow me, first of all, on behalf of the summit members, to express my great appreciation to the United Republic of Tanzania, our host, for the warm welcome and the hospitality accorded to me and my delegation since our arrival in this beautiful city of Arusha. Second, I wish to thank you, Excellencies, for your active participation during the organized meetings and your support. Without your support, I could not do anything. I'd like to focus my today's statement on some of the substantive achievements during my tenure as chair of the East African Community Heads of State Summit. Let me begin by thanking your excellencies for entrusting me with the privilege of presiding over the affairs of our community and serving as your chairperson since 22nd July 2022. It has been a great honor to steer the most vibrant and most integrated regional economic community in the African Union in spite of the global challenge. Your Excellencies, on 22nd July 2020, during the 22nd meeting of the summit, we agreed to meet as required to address critical issues of our common interest. In this regard, I wish to note that during my chairmanship, we have held several extraordinary and mini summits, especially to provide guidance on peace and security situation in the community, and in particular in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. I am grateful to your excellencies that you diligently and graciously agreed and responded to my request to meet, and have provided robust guidance to the community, many times at very short notice and sometimes on the sidelines of other important meetings. Your Excellencies, the community can continue to aspire to have a borderless and more integrated region, and the desire of our people for an inclusive, equitable, and responsive integration process that address their daily need and lives up to our vision of one people, one destiny remain high. The citizens of our community are looking to us to fast track and implement programs and projects that will continue to transform our region. It is our responsibility as leaders to ensure that the objective of establishing the community remain on course. Your Excellencies, when I took over chairmanship of the summit, I undertook to focus on directing our efforts towards improving the equality of life of the people of East African community through increased competitiveness, value-added production, trade and investments. The East African community total trade increased by 13.4% to $74.1 billion in 2022 from 65.3 billion in 2021. Total East African community trade grew by 11.2% to $10.9 billion in 2022 from $9.8 billion in 2021. The percentage share of intra-AEC trade to AEC total trade stood at 15% in 2022. The increase is attributed to a strong collaboration with partner states to promote East African trade, timely resolution of no tariff barriers, enhanced trade facilitation initiative, harmonization of 2.568 East African standards, promotion of micro, small, and medium enterprises through the annual ASC Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Trade Fair, Chua Kari, Nguvu Kazi Exhibition, sensitization, and capacity building of relevant stakeholders, among others. The community has continued to put in place mechanisms to enhance intra-East African community trade and industrialization, and we have continued to actively participate in finalizing the implementation of the trade arrangement provided by the tripartite COMESA, AC, and SADC agreement and the African Continental Free Trade Area. I am pleased to report that under the Customs Union, the partner states have continued with the implementation of the single customs territory and interconnectivity of customs system to facilitate seamless exchange of information and faster clearance of goods across borders. Your Excellencies, in order to increase intra-AC trade, we must focus on elimination of non-tariff barriers that continue to impact trade between and among our countries. I also call upon the partner states to ratify the amendment of Article 24.2 of the Protocol of the Establishment of the East African Community Customs Union to pave the way for the operationalization of the Trade Remedies Committee and promote faster resolution on trade dispute. Cross-border movement of goods, services, and people is only possible under working and efficient infrastructure. I appreciate the partner states' significant investment to cover the existing gaps. I also commend the East African Community Secretariat for the tireless effort in coordinating and mobilizing resources for development of multilateral roads linking our partner states. Your Excellency, you will recall that the 21st meeting of the Head of State Summit in 2021, we adopted French and Swahili in addition to English as official language of the community. In the meantime, we directed the Council and the Secretariat to ensure that all statutory meetings of the community are facilitated in the 3 languages accordingly. I call upon the Council of Ministers to expedite the amendment of the treaty and other modalities required to facilitate full implementation and the use of the 3 languages in all affairs of the community. In improving our productive sectors, the region adopted a 5-year ASEAN Industrial Policy Implementation Action Plan for 2023-2028 that focused on recovery and building resilience for sustainable industrial growth and competitiveness. For our productive sector to thrive, we need efficient and reliable energy. In addressing this, the community has continued with the implementation of priority energy generation and transmission projects such as the 80-megawatt Rusumo hydropower project between Rwanda, Burundi, and Tanzania, which I'm happy to report has been completed. I am also happy to report that there is impetus to mobilize resources to support regional connectivity on roads and railways infrastructures, in particular the Central Corridor connecting Tanzania and Burundi, and the North Corridors connecting Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda. Your Excellencies, I am glad to report that national consultation for the constitution of the AAC Political Confederation have so far been held in Burundi, Uganda, and Kenya. I urge the other partner states to cooperate with the Secretariat to finalize the consultation. On the expansion of the community, I am happy that the integration of the Republic Federal of Somalia became today effective. I congratulate the President of Somalia, the government, and the people of Somalia. The community continues to face financial challenge that affects the implementation of projects and programs. I therefore call upon partner states to finalize the sustainable financing mechanism to guarantee the sustainability of our community, relatedly given the difficult financial circumstances. It is imperative for the Council as a policy organ to pursue cost-cutting measures in the community. Your Excellencies, to create a stable business environment and improve the lives of East African community, we must ensure that we strengthen regional peace, security, political accountability, good governance, and institutionalize East African community emergency response mechanism. It is on this basis that, as a family, we made the conscious decision last year to jointly support the DRC government in the restoration of security and stability in Eastern DRC. The fluid security situation in Eastern DRC has been a source of needs, particularly for the 5 AC partner states that share borders with the DRC, not only due to the concentration of groups that may destabilize our partner state, but also the humanitarian consequence, which constant spillover of the displaced person across the borders. Since the attainment of full deployment of East African regional force in the operationalization area in March 2023, alongside the continuous consultation, the facilitator and of the Nairobi process, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, has held with various stakeholders relative calm returned in Eastern DRC. In particular, 3 extraordinary summits and 1 consultative summit held over the last year were all devoted to responding to the unfolding security situation in Eastern DRC, and this bears testimony to the unwavering commitment of the heads of state to supporting the realization of sustainable peace for the affected population and the region at large. In this process, the partner states have committed men and resources to underscore the leadership and ownership by the region. Other like-minded partners within the context of the complementary Rwanda process and the peace, security, and cooperation framework for DRC have been forthcoming in support of home growth initiative. While the summit decisions have largely been implemented, there have also been attendant challenges which require give and takes for the peace to hold. I take this opportunity to thank Your Excellency for your effort in the mobilization of resources to support the stabilization of Eastern DRC. The ceasefire violation of 6 October 2023 that have since transformed into large armed conflagration pose the most serious security threat in Eastern DRC. The summit is seized of this, and as I hand over the reign of this community, I believe there will be a continuity in assuring that gains registered are not lost, and that the people of Eastern DRC can remain confident that the region stands firmly with them in the quest for restoration of peace and security, as well as for stability. I wish to express my gratitude to His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta and the chairperson of the Rwanda process, President João Lourenço of the Republic of Angola, with whom I have partnered in this endeavor, and whose commitment to the cause remain unwavering. I have trust that faith that together with the support of the incoming chairperson, they will be collectively be able to achieve the objective we set out. Furthermore, you will also count on my full support and contribution in my capacity of President of the Regional Oversight Mechanism for implementing the Framework Agreement for Peace, Security, and Cooperation in DRC and the region. I remain committed to this very important issue, not only for DRC, but also for the whole region. I would also like to appreciate President Tshisekedi for his leadership and the cooperation in the attainment of the common vision of peaceful Eastern DRC. Excellencies, as I hand over the chairmanship of the East African Community Heads of State Summit, I take this opportunity to register my sincere appreciation to all members of the Summit of East African Communities of States for the goodwill and the cooperation extended to me and to the Republic of Burundi since the 22nd July 2022, when I assumed the chair of East African Community. As I conclude, I wish to commend the Council of Ministers for their dedication and the excellent work they have done in furthering the integration process. I also express my appreciation to the staff of the community for the role each one continues to play in steering the community to greater heights in the many developmental fields. In particular, I commend the leadership of the community under the Secretary General, Dr. Peter Matuki, for their service and dedication. I thank you all for your attention. Long life to East African community. God bless you. That is my report.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the summary report of what you've done for the last 1 year as the chair of the summit. And indeed, as a secretary, we confirm that is a true picture of what has been done, and we commit to continue supporting going forward. Your Excellencies, now allow me to invite His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, who have been admitted as the East African community, to give your remarks. Your Excellency, most welcome.
Your Excellency, Everest Ndisheme, President of the Republic of Burundi, outgoing chair, His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, the incoming chair, the President of the Republic of South Sudan, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, His Excellency Yoweri Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Edward Semi, Prime Minister of Rwanda, and His Excellency the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Defense of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and pleasure to be addressing you today in this important 1/3 ordinary summit of the East Africa Community Head of States. First, let me begin by expressing my gratitude to the government of the United Republic of Tanzania for the warm welcome and hospitality afforded to me and my delegation in our stay here today as we embrace a new chapter in Somalia's history. The Somali people are honored, and I am deeply honored to stand before you as we officially become member of the East African community. This moment is not just a culmination of aspiration, but a beacon of hope for a future replete with possibilities and opportunities. I would like to take this moment to express my profound gratitude to all the member states of the East African community and the East African Secretariat for their unwavering support and belief in Somalia. Your solidarity and encouragement have been instrumental in guiding us to where we are today. Special thanks are due to Dr. Abdusalam Omar, our presidential envoy to the East African community, and his team of professional civil servants of Somali government. Dr. Omar, your tireless effort, leadership, and dedication and diplomatic acumen have been pivotal in realizing this dream. Our journey to this day has been one of resilience, perseverance, and enduring belief in the power of regional unity and cooperation. As Somalia joins the East African community, we are not merely entering a regional bloc, but we are joining a family of nations with one people, one destiny, united by shared goals and visions. We are here to strengthen the bonds of brotherhood and friendship, to contribute to our collective prosperity, and to participate in advancing a future that's brighter for all our peoples. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to our friends and partners in the East African community, our inclusion in this community is a commitment to shared growth and development. We are eager to engage in a fruitful partnership, learn from your experiences, and contribute to the regional initiatives that drive our collective progress. Somalia's accession to the East African community is mutually beneficial for both the bloc and my country, bringing with it several economic, social, political benefits. We bring to the table our rich culture, heritage, and a strategic location with a coastline of more than 3,000 kilometers, the longest in the mainland Africa, untapped resources, and a young, vibrant, and entrepreneurial population ready to engage with the region and the world at large. Our focus now turns to practical implementation of East African community policies and standards in Somalia. We are committed to reforming our institutions, enhancing our infrastructure, and creating an environment conducive to trade and investment in Somalia. We recognize the challenges ahead, but are confident in our ability to overcome them through cooperation and shared expertise of this great region. As we look to the future, we envision an East Africa where our diversity is our strength, where our economies are intertwined and robust, and where we are united by a sense of belongingness and purpose together. We also envision a future where East African community is a leading example of regional integration, peace, and prosperity on the African continent and the global stage. In closing, let me reiterate Somalia's commitment to the East African community. Last year, less than 2 months into my second term of office, I joined you at the 22nd East African Ordinary Summit here in Arusha to renew Somalia's for accession to the East African community. I then rightly said Somalia belongs to East Africa community. There is no country among East African partner states that's not linked to Somalia, either by border or by business or by existing historical linkage, including language and culture. We are here to contribute, to learn, and to grow alongside each of you. Our borders will be bridges, not barriers. Together, let us build a legacy that will stand as a testament to the power of unity and cooperation. We truly believe that we are one people with one destiny, united by shared goals and ambitions. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and once more congratulations for joining the community. Your Excellencies, now I call upon the chair of the summit to His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, to address you and address the citizens of East Africa. Your Excellency, most welcome.
Thank you very much. Okay. Your Excellency, President of Burundi, and outgoing chair of the summit, Your Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Your Excellency Samia Suluhu, President of the United Republic of Rwanda, of Tanzania, Your Excellency Felix Tshisekedi, representing President of Uganda, of Congo.
No, it's okay. Tshisekedi, President of DRC.
Yeah. President William Ruto, President of Kenya, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Dr. Peter Machuki, Secretary General of the EAC, representatives of regional economic communities, members of the diplomatic corps, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to address this opening session of the 23rd Ordinary East African Community Heads of State Summit. I believe the candid discussions we have made today will have bearings on the affairs of our community. South Sudan strongly believes in the ability of the East African community to address our common challenges. This is one reason why South Sudan joined the East African community in 2016. As a partner state, South Sudan is fully aware of its treaty obligations, particularly on the harmonization of laws and policies. We are equally aware of our required financial obligations for the functioning of the community. On this basis, we have developed a roadmap for integration into the East African community. Excellencies, distinguished guests, the steps I have just mentioned above were affected by the challenges of peace implementation in my country. The agreement we are implementing is not supported externally by partners, and this explains why we lagged behind in our annual contributions to the community. I sincerely appreciate the East African Community heads of state for waiving the arrears accrued to South Sudan during the 22nd Ordinary Summit. In recognition of this gesture, the government immediately disbursed the remaining balance of $15 million from now onwards. South Sudan commits to remit its required annual contribution on timely basis. On regional peace and security, our collective responsibility is to insist that the solution to the Congolese crisis lies with the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo and opposition groups. Having said that, I would like to emphasize that the East African community should remain committed to the Nairobi process for peace in Eastern DRC. I called upon the summit to find an appropriate mechanism to support this ongoing political process. Thank you very much for your attention. And I want to thank the President of Tanzania for hosting us. We have been comfortably hosted, and we are happy.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, now the remaining bit is just to take you through the communique of the heads of states of this 23rd Ordinary Summit, and I would go through it very fast. And before I do that, I would want to make a few remarks. Your Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi. Your Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan and the Chairperson of the EAC. Your Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Your Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya. Your Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia. Your Excellency Right Honorable Edward Grinte, Prime Minister representing His Excellency President Kagame of Rwanda. Your Excellency Jean-Pierre Bemba, Vice Prime Minister and Minister of Defense, representing His Excellency President Felix Antoine Tshisekedi, Your Excellency Tete Antonio, Minister of External Relations of Angola, representing President João Manuel of Angola, the Chair Council of Ministers here present and the Council of Ministers present, the Speaker of the East African Legislative Assembly here present, and members of IALA who are here present, Your Lordship, President of the East African Court of Justice, heads of regional economic blocks, former Secretary Generals who are here present, former speakers of the East African Legislative Assembly here present, Excellencies, ambassadors, members of the diplomatic corps, the private sector represented by the East African Business Council who are here present, and members of the civil society, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I would wish to, before I read the communique, I make a presentation coming from the private sector to the heads of states. And before that, I want to express our gratitude as East African Community Secretariat to Your Excellencies for your commitment, and your presence, all of you here, is that demonstrate that commitment, but also for the wise counsel you continue extending to all of us whenever we seek that, Your Excellency. Your Excellencies, allow me also to express gratitude to the outgoing chair of the East African Community and the President of Burundi, His Excellency Rais Samia, for his attitude, leadership, and commitment, and congratulate him for the achievements that he's been able to achieve for the last 1 year. And on the same, I would want, on behalf of my colleagues, commit to the incoming chair, President of South Sudan, of our full support as a secretariat, and assure you that we'll do our best to ensure that we achieve the objectives of the community. The message from the private sector, Your Excellencies, is to continue increasing intra-EAC trade. Following measures needs to be done, and they say one is to promote manufacturing sector, to trade in manufactured goods. Number two, to promote regional value chains and focus on use of locally regional sourced materials. Also adding value to traditional exports, minerals, agricultural, to earn better prices at the world market. Diversification of exports with a focus on emerging crops, e.g. avocados, flowers, and vegetables. Provision of adequate and reliable energy sources to promote industrialization. Develop trade-related infrastructure, roads, ports. Remove barriers to trade imposed by sometimes partner states and promote intra-trade. Address supply chains, constraints, increase tradable products. Implement the use of national IDs as a travel document across East Africa. Move as a bloc while negotiating binding agreements with third parties. Of course, respecting the treaty on variable geometry. Refrain from taking decisions that would resort into non-tariff barriers and avoid recurring NTBs. Fast-track implementation of one area network. Mutually recognize EAC harmonized standards to facilitate intra-EAC trade. Fast-track harmonization of national laws and removal of restrictions on trade in services. Partner states also to ratify FFTA and convert the one-stop border posts to electronic non-stop border posts so that goods can move freely across the region. Facilitate currency conversion approach to reduce on foreign exchange and to minimize time taken on exchanges, and prioritize infrastructure development, market intelligence, and diversification of exports. And finally, EAC submitted its offers to the tariff and services liberalization to the SCFTA Secretariat, which will facilitate trade. And therefore, as partner states, I think private sector commits to continue working with governments to realize that. That is the message from the private sector, Your Excellencies. And I would wish to now read the communique by Your Excellencies, the decisions that you made this morning. The 23rd Ordinary Summit of the East African Heads of State. The theme is accelerating economic recovery through climate action and enhancing food security for improved livelihoods. Today, 24th November 2023, Arusha, United Republic of Tanzania, communique. The summit received the progress report of the Council of Ministers for the period between 1st July 2022 to 24th November 2023. The summit commended the Council for the progress made in implementing the programs and projects of the community and directed the Council to resolve all outstanding issues and report progress to the next ordinary summit. The summit considered the report on the implementation of various decisions of the summit and noted progress the summit directed partner states and the Council and Secretariat to implement the outstanding decisions. The summit considered the report on negotiation for the admission of Federal Republic of Somalia into the East African Community and decided to admit the Federal Republic of Somalia as a full member of the East African Community. The summit designated the chairperson of the summit to agree with the Federal Republic of Somalia on when to sign the Treaty of Accession of the Federal Republic of Somalia with the East African Community, and within 6 months from the date of signing, the Federal Republic of Somalia shall be required to deposit the instrument of ratification with the Secretary General, having complied with all the requirements. Number 6 is the summit directed the Council to develop a roadmap for the integration of the Federal Republic of Somalia into the community and report progress to the next summit. The summit considered the progress report on the consultations on EAC Political Confederation and commended the experts for professionalism and commitment towards fulfilling their mandate as assigned by the summit. Commended the Republic of Uganda and Republic of Kenya for providing extra budgetary support for the consultation process. Took note of the pledge by Republic of South Sudan to contribute $500,000 and commitment by United Republic of Tanzania to support the process. Urged the United Republic of Tanzania, the Republic of South Sudan, the Republic of Rwanda, and Democratic Republic of Congo to conclude the consultations process by 30th May 2024, and urged partners that have not submitted the names of constitutional experts to do so by 31st December 2023. Adopted a roadmap for expeditious conclusion of the consultation process. The summit considered the progress report of the EAC-led process on restoration of peace and security in Eastern DRC from the facilitator and the force commander of the regional force. One, noted the DRC will not extend the mandate of the EAC regional force beyond 8th December 2023, but directed that the CDFs of EAC and the SADC and DRC to meet before 8th December 2023 and submit their recommendations on the way forward to the defense ministers for onwards transmission to the summit for consideration. The summit considered the progress report on the sustainable financing of East African Community and agreed on a 65% equal contribution and 35% assessed contribution financing formula. The summit further directed the Council of Ministers to pursue strategic spending rationalization measures and sanctions for non-contributing partner states and report to the next summit. The summit decided that the Republic of South Sudan would resume the new chair of the community, while Democratic Republic of Congo will be the rapporteur. Their Excellencies, the EAC heads of states will be awarding certificate to the winners of the secondary schools essay competition for the year 2022-23 and commended the winners for their keen interest in the EAC integration process. The heads of state took note of the resolutions of the high-level forum on climate change, food security and environmental sustainability in the EAC, and one, congratulated the Republic of Kenya for hosting the African Climate Summit and the United Republic of Tanzania for hosting the African Food Summit, reaffirmed their commitment to addressing climate change and food security, including promotion of sustainable agricultural practices, investment in climate resilient technologies, and development of regional policies, handling water harvesting value, additions and irrigation, and committed to approach the 2023 COP28 as a region. The heads of states, they will also be assenting the bills, the East African competition bills for 2022, but also various appropriation bills. The East African Community Summit took note of the voluntary resignation of Justice Charles Nyachai from the Republic of Kenya as a judge of the First Instance Division of the East African Court of Justice, and commended him for his dedicated service to the community. And the summit urged the Republic of Kenya to expedite the nomination of his replacement and submit the name to the Secretary General of the community. The summit directed the Council to expedite the amendment of Article 137 and related provision of the treaty to fast-track the modalities for the use of Kiswahili and French as official languages of the community. The summit wished the government and the people of Democratic Republic of Congo a peaceful general elections. The summit congratulated the Republic of Kenya, the Republic of Uganda, and the United Republic of Tanzania for jointly winning the bid to host the African Cup of Nations in 2027, AFCON 2027, and noted that the East African Pamoja bid was a demonstration of the many benefits that the collaboration by partners can yield. The summit commended His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi, for excellent leadership during his tenure as a chairperson of the summit, and congratulated His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit for assuming the chairmanship of the summit. The summit congratulated the people and government of Federal Republic of Somalia for officially becoming the 8th full member of the East African Community. The East African Community also state their excellencies of all the partner states who are present, thanked the host president, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan of the United Republic of Tanzania, for the warm and cordial hospitality extended to them and their respective delegations during their stay in Tanzania. Head of the communique. I thank you very much, Your Excellencies.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, we have 3 activities that we will try to conclude as quickly as possible. And the first is the assent to bills passed by the East African Legislative Assembly. We will then have an award ceremony for winners of the East Africa Community Student Essay Competitions, and the Deputy Secretary General, Infrastructure, Productive, Social and Political Sectors will preside over this activity, and then we'll have a quick photo session. Those are the 3 activities that we will conclude, and thereafter, the ceremony for this afternoon will end. So I invite the Counsel to the Community and his team to present the bills for assent by the heads of state. As the assent process proceeds, I invite the director, social sectors, to prepare our students for the next ceremony.
Your Excellencies, as the signing continues and also in order to save time, we'll have the students be brought forward for the award of the essay competition. And this was an initiative of the summit which started in 2004. And every year there is a topic given to the students from our partner states. In 2022, the year for which we are doing the awards, the essay topic was discuss how the developments of road and railway infrastructure can contribute to enhanced regional integration and development of the East African community. The students were tested and their essays adjudicated both at the national and the regional levels. And today we have the honor to present to you the winning students from our partner states. There are 6 of them, since the DRC, due to the late entry, didn't participate in the competition. We will, Your Excellencies, have the DSG come to the top podium to give the award to the chair of the summit, who will award to the students after I call each of them. So, Honorable DSG, come to the front. The student number 6 was Lalom Jocelyn Oloku from South Sudan, who will get US $550 and his certificate. Yeah, so they can come. Okay, okay. Lalom Jocelyn Oloku from Maryland Academy will receive the certificate and $550 from the chair of the summit, followed by Erimfue Aida, also a female student from the Republic of Burundi, Ecole SOS Muyinga, receiving, maybe the president could come here, followed by Erimfue Aida from Burundi. Please come forward. Erimfue, come forward. That will be followed by Amuron Evelyn, Wiggins Secondary School, Uganda, receiving $750 from the summit. The third candidate is Irakoze Sonia from Gashora Girls Academy, receiving $1,000 from Rwanda. The second candidate is Idrisa Musa Hamadi from the United Republic of Tanzania, Azania Secondary School, receiving $1,200. And the winning student is Austin Alego Angoya from Machakos Boys High School, Republic of Kenya, receiving $1,500. And the students will also be taken to a tour of Tarangire, Ngorongoro, and Kilimanjaro for the next 3 days.
The next student. Be very quick, please.
Yeah. So, Who is that?
Who is the next student?
Evelyn. Amuron Evelyn from Uganda.
You are from where?
From Uganda. Then we have Irakoze Sonia from Rwanda.
Yeah.
Irakoze Sonia from Rwanda.
The next student?
Gashore Academy of Science and Technology, receiving $1,000 and a certificate.
Don't let your body deceive you that you are grown. You are not grown, you are still a child. This is just a body.
Thank you so much and congratulations. Next is Idrissa. That is we have Idrissa Musa Hamadi from the United Republic of Tanzania, Azania Secondary School, $1,200.
From Tanzania.
And the best candidate number 1 is Astin Alego Angoya from Machakos Boys High School, Republic of Kenya, receiving $1,500. As we conclude, thank you so much, Your Excellency. That is the end of the awards, and we go very quickly to the photo sessions. Your Excellency, you could kindly take your seat now. Yeah. We go to the photo session. We do the photo session first with the student winners of the ESA Awards. Could you come up and take a picture with the heads of state? Go through the other side. We will after that have the members of the Council of the ESA, the Council of Ministers present, and all other ministers who could still be in the house come forward for a picture after the students. After that, we'll have the heads of ESA organs and institutions kindly have your way to the forward. The heads of ESA organs and institutions. The heads of ESA organs and institutions will follow the members of the council. Thank you so much, members of the council who could still be in the room. Kindly come forward for a picture with the heads of state. And finally, we'll have the heads of ESA organs and institutions who are in. Please come quickly so that the heads of ESA organs and institutions. The students, after the picture, you could kindly, humbly leave the stage, and we have the ESA organs and institutions representatives. The ESA organs and institutions. I can see they have been joined by the council too, so spread out so that we have a joint picture. ESA organs and institution together with the members of the council who are still in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We also invite the ESA youth ambassadors, if you could still make if you could please make your way up to the podium. Youth ambassadors, if you're still in the room, please make your way up to the podium. The youth ambassadors will be joining the photo session. Former Secretary Generals, former Secretary Generals, former speakers, our youth ambassadors are making their way up to the podium. Thereafter, former Secretary Generals, former speakers of the Legislative Assembly, Okay, youth ambassadors, thank you very much. May we have the next photo with the former Secretary Generals and former speakers of the Legislative Assembly. Our last photo will be with the development partners present and the diplomatic corps. If you're here in the room, please do make your way up to the podium. Development partners, this will be our last photo. Oh, my apologies, Speaker and Yala MPs. Speaker and Yala MPs, with the heads of state present. Development partners, if any, please make your way up to the podium before we conclude the photo session. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, we have come to the conclusion of the 23rd Ordinary Summit of the EAC Heads of State. Excellencies, thank you very much. We will now invite you to lunch. We will invite you to lunch. Our excellencies will exit the room. Our excellencies will exit the room to the lunch area that has been arranged for that purpose. Ministers, distinguished delegates, you will be led to the lunch room.